Hi there, it's Sandy, your sister and your friend. Welcome to today's video. We've grown up in a three-dimensional world. That's a very dense place. It's a place where our collective egos have conditioned us to think that we need to carry around a hammer so that we can resist anything that our personal ego thinks should be different in our environment. We're always looking for a nail to pound with our hammer so that we can conform things into our personal expectations. Again, ego-driven expectations. We might be thinking, oh, I don't like what she said. Resist, resist, resist. Or I don't like the idea that it's going to rain on my birthday. Pound, resist, resist, resist. Or I don't like the diagnosis that I just got. Resist, resist, resist. Our egos don't really care what we're resisting, what we're pounding against, or whether whatever we're resisting, how we're doing the resistance, whether it's going to make any difference to the outcome or not. Our egos don't, it doesn't matter to our egos. As a matter of fact, we've been so conditioned to this, we actually have a phrase of, hey, don't shoot the messenger, because we're expecting, if we're the one who delivers so-called bad news to somebody, that they may be really angry with us, even though we have nothing to do with whatever it is that they don't want to have happen. But we're at a place now where we don't have to resist the things that are happening in our life anymore. The whole earth is shifting to this fifth dimensional conscious awareness. And those of us who are listening to this video are shifting right along with the earth. We're actually learning that resistance really is futile. Instead, we're transitioning to experiencing life beyond the physical reality. That level isn't serving us. I mean, we're still here, but that's not the level of perception that we're focused our energy on. Our subtle energy structures that comprise the biofield that surrounds each of us individually, those energies are undergoing an evolution of etheric upgrades. So how do we help with this personal evolution that we're going through? So I think our job in this five-dimensional world is to raise our consciousness whenever we feel the vibration of anything that doesn't feel resonant with where we are now. We don't want these lower frequencies to take root in at the cellular level within our bodies or within our energy field. So even though our collective consciousness is raising to a higher level, there's still a lot of individuals who are here on the earth who are still feeling and exhibiting these lower emotions like anger and fear and resentment. So there are a lot of people who are still operating at that level. So we don't want to absorb their energy. We don't want to be pulled back down into that dimension. So one thing that we can do that's kind of, I find kind of easy, is just to remind ourselves of who we are. If I just continue to say to myself, I can just say it to myself, I know who I am, I know who I am, I know who I am. Just reminding myself that I am here as a divine human on the earth, even that simple reminder can help to keep us in an elevated state of consciousness. Now, in this time of personal and collective awakening, our shadows, whatever we haven't dealt with, hasn't come out into the light yet, these things are actually making their way into the light. So we may find that some old 3D emotions like resentment and jealousy and anger and hatred, those kind of things may begin to surface in just whatever's happening in our lives. So when any of these old emotions appear, we'll know, because we're inside here, we're the ones inside, so we're going to notice that they don't resonate with the higher emotions that we feel most of the time. our 5D energy. So our job then is to observe those feelings, take responsibility for them, and transcend them. That's what this is what we're learning to do in this 5D world. And being a neutral witness to these lower energies actually weakens their power over us. It is our responsibility as sovereign humans, that's who we are on the earth, to undertake our own shadow work. Nobody can do that work for us. So when we're willing to face our shadows with compassion and with honesty, taking a real honest look at what's going on, we will reclaim those broken parts of our soul. In my own recent experience of having a back injury and a recent diagnosis of breast cancer, I began to feel a sense of unworthiness rise up inside of me. Now, I was unaware that this feeling actually existed anywhere in my soul, in my psyche. So what I did was just simply sit in stillness with it. And as I just sat there as the witness waiting to see what would come up, I felt my little girl Sandy come up with our young mother, and I sat and first I loved both of them, and then I sat and watched them as they forgave each other and loved each other. And I felt like that was a real healing experience for me, and actually also for my mother, who had passed away decades ago. So instead of resisting the feelings that didn't resonate with me at a higher consciousness level, I just observed them. I allowed them to show up in any form that they wanted to, which was as a little girl and my young mother, so that then they got transmuted into love. What had been in darkness was loved into the light. Now, if I had said no to the back pain, and if I had said, boy, I wish it was different to the cancer, I would have missed the opportunity to do my shadow work. So I'm grateful for the path that allowed me to see and to let go of my soul's deep-seated fear. And as each of us does our inner alchemy, our healing, personal healing, will go very far in healing the whole world in a mighty way. We just don't even understand possibly the impact that our inner work has on the whole world. So when we're willing to transcend what we can see with our physical senses, we can actually make the decision or agree with the fact that everything is perfect just the way it is. Now, this is our personal choice to move from our egoic preferences and perceptions to the reality that everything is actually working out for our good. When we allow the present moment to be exactly as it is, without telling it, no, this can't be happening, we're going to find unexpected peace and joy like we really have never experienced before. Now, God has infinite trust in us. Our Creator loves us unconditionally and knows how exquisitely capable we are of handling the things that happen to us here in this life. Now, as I'm going through the procedures necessary to prepare for cancer treatment, I actually discovered two other things that got triggered through this process. One time I was disappointed with my ego, I have to say, was disappointed with thinking that somebody wasn't being as compassionate towards me as they should have been. My ego had told me a story about how someone should act based on how it thought it would act. And secondly, there was an outcome of a procedure that happened that my ego didn't agree that that should be the outcome that I would experience. But in both of these cases, God showed me that my ego had set expectations up and had formed attachments to external outcomes that it had decided would be for my best benefit. Once I saw that my ego had substituted something else for God's perfect plan, I just laughed at the ego's insecurity and turned back to be loved by my Creator. So when an egoic preference shows up, it's a clear sign that God trusts us to be the divine humans that we really are, to take responsibility for what's coming up, and to be thankful that it showed up so we can let it go. Now, as we move up in consciousness from the 3D living that we've been at for such a long time, we're going to be quicker to recognize the negative emotions that are surrounding us and those that we have stored up. So this is a time for us to be aware of what's happening inside of us and to let go of any judgments that we're holding. As in my case, the stored up emotions may be hidden from our awareness, so we don't even realize that they are there. And that's why we need to remain present in each moment. This is the only moment that we have. This is actually where salvation for us occurs, is in the here and now. So as we sit in stillness with our Creator, we might ask ourselves some questions or see what comes up when we consider or ponder things such as this. Is there anything that I can let go of in this moment that's blocking my awareness of your love? Or how can I receive a blessing and be a blessing to someone else today? And where do you want me to work a miracle with you today? We're on this ascension journey together, and I am so happy to be on the earth with you now. This is a time of great awakening. We're actually evolving as new humans that match God's original blueprint for us. Our awakening is not only for our own benefit, but it's to benefit the collective so that more light-filled humans are walking here on the earth. As temples of living light, peace and joy they're going to be our new norm. We are integral parts of God's plan to restore humanity to its divine design, which is our birthright. So the divine human is finally waking up, and we're coming home. That's just what I wanted to share with you today. We're part of this process, and I just love that we are all in this together. So thank you for listening. I'll post another video pretty soon. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you would, and hit the like button. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.